everyone, and welcome to our lesson on power. This will be your final teaching lesson of the P3 electricity topic. You will have a week of revision lessons, that's 3 revision lessons, and then Wednesday the 10th of February will be your test. So your homework as such is to revise. Please make sure you know your equations and just do as many practice questions as possible. Starting with, how handy, some starter questions here based on the potential divider circuits that we did last time. So as I say, pause the video, please have a go at these questions, and then I shall go through the answers in a moment. Okay, assuming everyone has had a go at those. So question number 1. A circuit consists of a 10 ohm resistor in series with a 15 ohm resistor and a 100 volt battery. A, draw a sketch of the circuit. So, that's a bit big, isn't it? Every time. Right, A, so 100 volts, there, lovely. With a, doesn't matter which way around you do them, that's not an issue, 10 ohm resistor and a 15 ohm resistor. Lovely jubbly. Try and make sure that joins up. B, calculate the current in the circuit. So I'm going to use Ohm's law, V equals IR. I is V divided by R. The total voltage here is 100. The total resistance is 10 plus 15, because if you remember, you just add them together when they're a series. That's 100 divided by 25, gives me a current of 4 amps. Notice that I underline my answer here. That's just really good practice. If you're ever doing an exam question, if you underline your answer, in fact any question, underline your answer, makes it really easy for the examiner to spot, and you're more likely to get marks. C. So, I'm going to do this question using our proportion of the total resistance equation. You could do it using Ohm's law, if I'm being honest, but we'll use our official one, which is V out equals, or V1 or whatever, R1 over R1 plus R2, if you remember, times V in. I'm using this equation rather than the ratios because I know the total potential difference. I know that 100 volts. So, well, it's 15. So 15 over 25 times 100, which gives me, what's that, 5, 8, 60%. So 60 volts. That's it. And again, underlining it, there's my answer. Let's do question number 2. A circuit consists of a 3 ohm resistor in series with a 9 ohm resistor and a 48 volt battery. A, draw a sketch of the circuit. A, 48 volts, 3 ohms, 9 ohms. B, calculate the voltage across the 9 ohm resistor. Again, I know the total potential difference going into the circuit, so again, I'm going to use V1 equals R1 over R2 times V in. So 9 over 3 plus 9 times 48. That's 9 over 12 times 48. It's like 3/4 of 48. Gives me an answer of 36 volts. Now hopefully that's fairly straightforward and you remember that from last lesson. If not, quickly go back, have a read through, but otherwise let's carry on with today's lesson. And the lesson today is on power. So if you can please title and date. You will notice many pictures of Power Rangers there, which were big when I was a wee child, with their theme tune. I don't even know if they're around anymore, so apologies if you're looking at these and thinking, what on earth are they? But it was Go Go Power Rangers. I never remember the next line. That's the only line I remember of the theme tune, but there you go. So power is what we're looking at today. I was debating between Power Rangers and also there's a line in Spider-Man where Uncle Ben is dying and he's saying, with great power comes great responsibility. But I went with Power Rangers. I thought that was slightly more cheerful. So today there are 3 equations. Stop jabbering. 3 equations. I'm going to get you to do the notes, give you an equation, pause, do the practice questions, move on, do the next one, move on, do the next one. That's it, really. So, first thing, electrical power is the rate at which an electrical appliance uses energy. It is measured in watts. 1 watt of power means that 1 joule of energy is used every second. Apologies, I've just realised that this is not capitalised and should be. Come on. Oh, now my iPad's frozen. There you go. Watts. And That should be joule capitalised as well. The reason we're capitalising them is that they are names. So they're surnames of people who basically put their name to it. So yes, 1 watt of power means that 1 joule of energy is used every second. Just a quick note that 50 watts of power means 50 joules of energy are used every second. The reason I'm saying this is that sometimes in questions are a bit tricky. They don't say 50 watts of power, they say 50 joules of energy are used every second, and they expect you to know and recognise the fact that that is power. So that's why I'm flagging it. So our first equation links to this definition, and it is power is energy divided by time. Now, just a quick note that sometimes energy is shown, I know this is confusing what with what, as a W because of work done. So if you remember back to year 9, we did work done, which is a type of energy transferred. So just don't be surprised if you see PWT as opposed to PET. They mean the same thing. You don't need to freak out about it. It's just energy, work done at the top. So power, energy, time, power in watts, energy in joules, time in seconds. Pause it, write it down, and then let's do some practice questions. So it's really easy, this equation, I'm sure you're noticing. Calculate the power of a light bulb that uses 40 joules of electricity in 4 seconds. Power is energy divided by time, 40 divided by 4, 100 watts. 100 watts, oh my god, I'm sorry. You won't know this, but it's actually Monday morning whilst I'm filming this, and clearly I'm not awake yet. So 10 watts is a real answer. So if you can please pause and write down one nicely laid out practice question in your books for your notes. You know it's nice and useful when you come back to it. Then, once I'm assuming you've done that, you've paused, you've written the notes, let's do some practice questions. So pause the video and have a go at those for me, please. Okay, so number 1, calculate the chemical energy used by a power of 25,000 watts in 50 seconds. So energy is power times time. Doesn't matter about the fact it's chemical energy, it's still just energy. And so it will be 125,000, oh good, 0. So then putting in my bits, and it's measured in joules. Calculate the work done. Again, it's just a type of energy. Do not freak out about this. Energy is power times time. So 80,000 times 60. So what's that? 480,000. Hang on, where are we? So I had 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. That's how I do it in my head. I kind of make sure I put enough zeros. Number 3, calculate the energy used by a radio of power 30 watts in 1 minute. 1 minute needs to be in seconds. So you do 30 times 60, giving you an answer of 1,800 joules. 4, calculate the energy if the power is 30 watts and the time is 100 seconds. I don't know why they were calculating energy. So what's that? 3,600 joules. Calculate the energy if the time is 2 minutes and the power is 50 watts. Energy is 120, notice this is in minutes, so that needs to be in seconds. 120 times 50, so that's 6,000. And it's energy, so it's joules, that's a J. Number 2, work out the power. If the energy is 1200 and the time is 12 seconds, so that's 100 watts, because you're doing energy divided by time. 7, calculate the power if the time is 30 seconds and the energy is 9,000, it's going to be 300 watts, because again you do energy 9,000 divided by time. And to calculate the time, if the energy is 2,000 and the power is 25, and the answer is, it will be 80? 80? 800? Yeah, it can't be 800, it's got to be 80, yes. And that is time, so it's seconds. Lovely jubbly. So hopefully that was fairly straightforward. Next equation. Told you it's just equation. Practice questions, go. Power is current times voltage. Now this is electrical power, because obviously in something, you can use power if you are lifting up a book, but you're not using electricity, you're just using your arms. This one is electrical power. Power, watts, current, amps, voltage or potential difference, volts. And again, if you can please write down this practice question. A filament bulb has a potential difference of 200 volts across it and a current of 0.2 amps running through it. At what power is the filament bulb operating? Ooh, better charge that. So power is current times voltage, 0.2 times 200, giving us an answer of 40 watts. Assuming everyone has written that practice question, please can you pause the video and have a go at these. Alrighty, let's hope that everyone's had a go at those. Let's go through some answers. So, calculate the power. Current is 3 amps and the voltage is 12. Power is current times voltage. 3 times 12 gives us an answer of 36 watts. Calculate the power if the voltage is 2,200 and the current is 5 amps. Again, you're timesing them together, giving you 1,100 watts. This time you're working out the current. Current is P. What is going on? Equals P over V, power divided by voltage, 120 divided by 240, giving you 0.5 amps. Again, here you're calculating current, so it's P divided by V, so that's 45 divided by 9, giving you a current of 5 amps. 5, calculate the voltage, so now V is P over I. If the power is 20, current is 0.2, that is 100 volts. So that's 20 divided by 0.2. 6, calculate the power. So that's current times voltage. If the current is 6 and the voltage is 2, so that's 12 watts. 7, again, you're calculating power. Weird, why did I choose these numbers again? So again, you're going to times them together. And again, you end up with 1,100 watts. Clearly, that's where my brain was going. And number 8, current is power divided by voltage, is 60 divided by 240, is 0.25 amps. So again, hopefully fairly straightforward. Now our final equation is slightly more tricky. It's not that hard, but it is slightly more tricky. And it is power is current squared times resistance. Sorry, I did a slightly dodgy paint job on the right-hand side trying to make that into the equation for the triangle for the equation. So power is on top there, current squared is on the bottom left, and resistance is on the right, measured in ohms. That means if you use this equation and you are working out the current, you will have to square root whatever you get, because you won't have current if you use this equation, you'll have current squared. So just a quick note about that. If you're working out power or resistance, you don't need to square root, but you do need to make sure that you put current squared in your equation. So again, pause the video and let's have a go. I've realised I haven't done a practice question for you to copy down. So I'll do number 1 here for you. And again, why are there no numbers here? Okay, there you go. Let's do number 1 together. So calculate the power if the current in the circuit is 2 amps and the resistance is 16 ohms. So power is current squared times resistance. Current is 2, so it's 2 squared times 16. So that's 4 times 16, which is 64 watts. And you know, I will also do number 4 with you, because again, it's a slightly trickier one there, you're working out current. So work out the current. So I squared is P over R. If the power is 180, so 180 divided by 45 gives me 4. So that's I squared equals 4. I is the square root of 4, which gives me an answer of 2 amps. So remember, you only need square root when you're working out current. So again, if you can please pause the video, have a go at those practice questions, and then we shall go through the answers. Okay, assuming everyone's had a go. Number 2, P is I squared R, so that's 3 squared times 14, so that's 9 times 14, giving me an answer of 126 watts. Number 3, resistance is P divided by I squared, so that's 32 divided by 4 squared, which is 32 divided by 16, which gives you 2 ohms. Number 4 we've done. Number 5, I squared is P over R, so that's 36 divided by 4 is 9. I is the square root of 9, which gives you 3 amps. Number 6, calculate the power. So P is I squared R. So that's 5 squared times 3. So what's that? 25 times 3 is 75 watts. Number 7, power again is current squared times resistance. So 2 squared times 7, so 4 times 7 is 28 watts. 8, working out current again. So I squared is P over R. 125 divided by 5, so that's 5. I is a square, 25 even. It's a square root of 25, which is 5 amps. Right, that was quite enough questions. Please let me know if you have any issues, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.